All right, this is just a continuation of the review that I didn't finish. So we're on to Tuesday now. So yeah, just some of these drawings are from the future. We're just gonna leave them um, since it's just a replay. But yeah, anyways, we do have some sort of SMT manipulation here on Russell. We are coming off of yeah, a nice long that does seem like if this is real, it should deliver. You would think above these relative equal highs on at least on Nasdaq since there's very clear relative strength. Um, and there's no like opposite sort of delivery here. Oh, I guess there kind of is. Huh? So yeah, there's like some weird ES strength here, but at the same time, like relative to the range, like Nasdaq is still stronger. Like look how it's completely bounced all the way back up. Anyways, on the daily, oops, that might be the end of the day. All right, yeah, we have like that 4 hour fair value gap in here. Hopefully we can get some ranges to show up here. There we go. So yeah, this is Asia from Monday, so we're just gonna go ahead and click on out, skip ahead. So yeah, here's London. So yeah, we get the nice London soup there, and now we're getting into about when I'd start looking at the charts. So yeah, relative equal high sweep. We got the sweep there on Nasdaq. So it should be any bullish bias since that little manipulation kind of failed. So I would actually probably like to see these relative lows. So yeah, there was like a manipulation here with Nasdaq heading lower, which was uncharacteristic. And so now you can see that's why we kind of got the move back up. But now we swept the highs, we swept some liquidity. Now we have reason to possibly come back lower. Not saying that I would short this, but there could be a short. Um, oh, and there is some S&T there. So maybe there's a short here. And if I remember from Monday, this is a good short, like when this happens. So let's just pretend we took a short here on the Dow. Let's say we just got in there, and maybe we just target London or the equal lows there. So that's a nice 5 hour trade. Boom, and it instantly gets hit. So the S&T literally occurred here at 6:30 a.m. And then into the open or the 8:30. I mean, we're still holding that S&T, and then we get a new one here. So there was actually two opportunities to get in short here. You could have even taken this, where we S&T'd the news level. So that's even. Oh, I don't know, but yeah, that was the two shorts there. I'm just gonna mark this one, and then mark the other one as well. So yeah, right into that wasn't even the 8:30 level. The 8:30 is basically the open. So yeah, right before the open, we literally come back to test the order block. So you still could have gone in there, is what the argument is. So yeah, multiple short ops. That's so weird. It's weird that I didn't. This seems too familiar. I feel like I did do it, and I just didn't like screenshot the image. But yeah, so yeah, now we get the long here. Man, maybe I messed up. I did mess up. Whoops. What? This is. Let me see. What happened on Monday? Monday was this. Oh, Monday was a holiday. That's why. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, this is annoying. Well, let's just put that in here. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Well, I was getting all excited. I was like, dang, I'm on top of this review. All right, so I should be sleeping until Wednesday. Okay, so we can delete that now. All right, so let's just go to the hourly. All right. So the long plays out. We haven't swept the highs, but we did get this sell off there already, and now we've dug much higher on everything. Nobody's taken out the swing high, have they? No. Actually, Russell has again. So I guess that's a short there again into the close. If this is a significant level, I mean, yeah, that might be a daily some sort of high there. But yeah, look, we got some S&P with Russell here. Russell comes and takes this out here, and then we get the inverse change of character there for a really nice short on Russell. So that could have been a short into the close. Yeah. Oops, it might have been too far. Nope, basically perfect. So yeah, we come down. Why are we bouncing? Well, we took out PM session there, took out PM session here. So everybody takes out PM session, and maybe all it is Russell had delivered lower. So yeah, Russell delivers lower, and then maybe we get something happening there. It's not typically the time I'm trading though, but we're already getting a pretty big move before even when I would trade, so it's not looking good for me. Unless there's like some new short opportunity, which I wouldn't trust since we already displaced off of. Oh, well, we are getting some S&T, but oh, I don't know. We're taking out some highs. This is not a trade for me yet. This was 2 weeks ago. Let's look at the news. Last week, the week before that. So there wasn't even any news. Um, and we're already just like moving like crazy before any levels develop. All right, so right into 8:30, we have gotten, well, 8:15. So 8:15, we've gotten some like weird movement here, and we're just like messing around with that swing high. And now ES and Nasdaq are delivering higher, with Nasdaq delivering even higher. I don't really trust any of that. I'd be looking for, I mean, a short could work maybe, but to me this seems too suspect. Um, I mean, yeah, we even come down here, so I guess you could like look for a short maybe here. Maybe that's all that it is. Maybe this is just a re-short, but at the same time, there's not like anything clear other than the fact that the Dow's weak. So Nasdaq, there's S&P there. So possibly, I'm suspicious of this, but you like S&P wise, that looks like that could be a short, but I don't base my trades off S&P. Like, there's no, oh, these are equal highs here. These are all smooth highs. So yeah, maybe this is the, and they did take out the swing high here. So maybe this is just a re-short, and now you can get in short on ES, but I just don't trust it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there were no clear levels, and then the way this was displacing higher, and then at the same time we have a higher time frame. Yeah, okay. So this is just going into the high time frame draw. So this is making sense. So maybe I missed something. I mean, there is a little bit of like a change of character there, but it's not my time. And then 8:30 levels here. Oh, and then like a big reversal. Maybe if Russell takes out the high. Okay. All right. So right before the open, there's an S&T below the 8:30 level here. So everybody took out. Everyone was below the 8:30, and then we come down here. What is this? Just arbitrary S&T. So yeah, I mean, this is just not my type of trade, I think. But I might be missing something on our end. Yeah, it looks like we just took out a. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we just took out that swing high. Of course, we're reversing now. I didn't even notice that. So we just took out that swing high. When did we do that? Right into the open, we take out that previous weekly high without the. Should we just do it like that? Without the Dow. And oh, I wonder if is YM still below that level? Yeah, interesting. So yeah, YM is still below the swing high. Yeah, we take it out again, and then it just gives like a re-entry on the Dow. So yeah, um, okay. So Russell's delivering that lower, but I would think it would want pretty low. So maybe if the Dow comes and takes out this low, and then maybe we have some S&P, but it's like not, to me that's not a super clear trade. But the short, I mean the short makes sense though. So I would just look for anybody to take out this low. Russell has already done that, so but and it did bounce before last time it delivered lower. So last time I did that, it delivered lower and bounced all the way back up. So yeah, if you got short here, I mean you would have gotten, yeah, I don't know, maybe it's smaller. I mean it seems similar to the short, but it's like okay, well, okay, wait, let's see here. Maybe I'm a little too unzoomed in. There's no news. Okay, so right into the open, Russell takes out the high again, and then into this candle we get the inverse S&T. So you could have shorted. Let's see if this makes sense. It literally broke the high right there. So I'm just gonna say you got in, literally right there. Risk reward wise, I mean that's the trade of the day right there. And yeah, you should expect if Russell's gonna manipulate, it's always gonna be weaker. So you should look for the short on Russell. If we look at on Tuesday, I mean yeah, you could have gone into the Dow, but and maybe this is something we should actually nuance right here and now and make it concrete. All right, this is Tuesday. This short here, yeah, there's a change in character here with YM right there. So technically speaking, you could have gotten short on Russell here, and look at that. It's about the same quality, is it? Well, either way, let's just say this is a tricky one. Let's just say you got short there. You want at least 3R, so close to this area. I just want to see how this plays out because now I just don't know. Well, there we go. Everybody takes out that level but Nasdaq. So I mean, yeah, I mean that's 2R, even if you entered there and risked that high. And yeah, I mean, let's just see what happens though. This seems like a higher time frame short to me, but I don't like this on Nasdaq. There you go. So if I was to judge where this would go, I would think it would want a higher time frame PDR. That's the answer, and that's what's happening. There's this daily fair value gap here. I mean, we got enough juice out of this already, but I mean, there you go. And then there's the long, clear as day. So long. Oh wait, no, it's clear as day. Oh, this might go lower then. Yeah. So yeah, we soup this, soup that, smooth lows. What about these guys? Probably soup that. Yeah, I mean, I would expect it to probably come a little deeper, but I probably would have gotten all out. I would have already gotten all out. Okay. And second of all, this was like an all-day short. Holy cow! So all day it took to deliver to this low, and we're back into that daily. Okay, and here's the other nuances. Nasdaq and ES have taken out that big swing high, and now they're making like an inverted S&T into the close, into the PM close. So yeah, that the short we had right. So that's good. There was an iffy long there that we would have made money on the long, the short, and then we would have taken a paper cut, or maybe we would have even won if we were very conservative, because there was a little bit of reaction here up into there. So I don't know, but yeah, that's just to me the short was the most obvious. So and I'm gonna say yeah, we got in there just this high. I don't really know where I would have targeted, but it would have been 2-3R. So that's the short there. So yeah, there's some real reasoning behind the short. The target was a bit of a challenge, but if logic was clearly worked out, thank you. Yes, taking highs might mean we need change. We need even lower or CC long, which came end of day with yes, thank you taking or but yeah, this is kind of tricky though. Like, I mean, yeah, the short makes sense. You could have gotten it on Russell if you're freaking really good, and then yeah, of course we dug deeper. But when it comes to like just based on this range here, it makes sense that we would hold it and at least come into a discount, which we did on everything. But you can see we came into some clear PD arrays, below the lows. This is basically fair value battle setup on almost. Wait, is it? Maybe you have equals there. How much more? But anyways, this is like, yeah, I mean, this is an area of interest. I mean, it's an efficiency really, literally lined up on top of the daily, and then they all come literally down to the daily. So, and then we make S&T. So it makes sense that we reverse there. I'm sure there's some tricky stuff up in here for us to kind of nuance. So let's see. Yeah, we get the short. Let's rewind this again. Yeah, here comes the short. We're basically just waiting for this low for sure. But I really don't like that. Russell's digging deeper. Um, but but we don't know how far Russell will go. And Russell doesn't look like he wants to bounce there. Looks like he would want to bounce at least somewhere in here, with this inefficiency. So yeah, maybe looking for deeper there still. Okay, now Russell's digging really deep. And now we're basically just right at the low. Yes, taking out the low now. And so now it's like, okay, we're going to the lows. Yes, we get a pop. Boom, now the low's taken out. And now the question is exit and long. Is this an exit and long? Well, we have S&T with literally everything. If you just long right there, which is actually pretty realistic, we wanted to long that order block and just go for like 2.5R then right to that order block. Oh, I think that's it. Boom. So yeah, that totally works. The scalpy version of my model works. So yeah, you would have been able to get out of the short for 2R, boom, long, another 2.5R. That's like a great day right there. So yeah, there was another long here. You wouldn't take it all the way to the high, but yeah, that is a long there. You could have also easily scalped long this. Thank you. S&T and exited YM short to enter this too. Or you're short one and you're long another one, and then it's like almost like, okay, you're either gonna win one or you're gonna win both. So that's probably how I should have done it. Could have stayed in short partials and long partials and and won 70. I don't know how much that is, but won most because you would have taken most off at the 2.5 and then lost on the Nasdaq on a partial. So tiny little paper cut, break even. So yeah, you would have basically made 2R and then you would have made 3R on YM. So yeah, this day was a good example of a scalp model day since not super clear percent levels, but still reasons to get involved. More scalps. Perfect. All right, what's going on here now? Okay. Well, I'm gonna stop there. Yeah, and I'll continue later. All right, Thursday, the 29th. So we got that big move up. So basically, what happened was Nasdaq took out the highs, and then it was the one to have the S&P. Um, we all came lower into the same area, so there's nothing for me to like look out into this level besides we were in that daily fair value gap. So we all kind of came back down into there, even I think these guys didn't, but it makes sense that Nasdaq would come lower, but I don't really know why ES needed to do. Maybe just because it's more correlated, but either way, we made the S&P there and had the long explode up. So that got us to take the highs again, but this time ES and Nasdaq, and it looks like that set up another short once we took that high out. Russell took out the high, and then made some S&T. We had a bit of a change in character above the trade open, just above this intermediate term high, but nothing super clear. It was basically just the London session, some S&T with the London session. So yeah, this is like another just Russell short here with Dow, but this is overnight, so I guess I'm gonna continue now. But anyways, let's see. So yeah, we had GDP at 8:30, so it is 6:45. So yeah, we have the short setup play out here for sure. Nasdaq is looking strong, so maybe we're going to get some sort of S&P below for a long plus. Otherwise, we've already gone quite the move. And was that GDP right there? Yeah, we're back down into Friday areas, and I would be looking for just it just seems like this low needs to be taken, or if we just get a bounce that we don't know why, then we can look for a short again, something like that. So we'll see. All right, so the news just hit. Right as the news happened, did anything form? So here's a low in the Dow. You can say that that's S&P. Yeah, there is S&P there. But have we entered like a key area? The only thing we've entered is time-wise, and we're not into a discount. Okay, yeah. So this is technically a long here. We tried it, which maybe you can get a chase long, maybe an order block, but you should have bought the S&P right before the news happened, knowing that we weren't into a discount yet. Probably just target some new highs if you bought that. Let's see if they give another entry just down into the order block here, maybe. Maybe on the 1 minute. So yeah, here, S&P here. Here's basically the, I mean, that was the re-entry there. So yeah, let's just say that's long. So yeah, there's your next re-entry. And then yeah, you would have stopped out. If you entered just on S&P, you know, you could have gotten your 2R. But yeah, there you go. That one didn't really play out. So probably a small loss on that one. But now we're getting like a change in character here. Looks like we did all settle up there. So I guess there was a short there on Russell, but that's yeah. I would have taken this long if I knew if I'd seen it. The proper entry was the S&P low though. Oh, now we hit the open. I didn't even realize that fast. Okay, so here was the open right here. So yeah, there was an entry here, short, as a YM came up. These aren't lined up that well. And there you go. So there, that was the short here. Maybe work that long there. Oh, and then there was another news here. Okay, so YM has not taken out that low yet, but it's basically past my time to trade anymore. I'd look for the let in, so I'd look for probably after lunch. So yeah, we got in the low sweep here, but everybody took the low out. So it would just be another short setup, honestly. Russell took this high out. This high is not significant, so I'd only be looking for a new sweep. All right, so uh, there's a new sweep into the end of the day, close. So possible Russell short again. Let's see if I bought some puts. That would have played out. If it takes out the low on anything, I would now. So there's London Friday. And there you go. That would have played out. Let's see if it happens into, yeah, that would have played out. So there was another short there into the close, risking the news high. You would have gone in on this candle. You would risk this. Can't really tell. The news high here. So yeah, pretty good risk reward there too. All right. So going into Thursday, let's read that under. Yeah. So right at 8:30, we have PCE on. Sorry, this is Friday. So yeah, Friday we have PCE at 8:30 again. So we're literally right about there. We've already moved lower, we've already swept lows, but now we're getting like a changing character. I think this is actually a long here, for sure. I remember this. So we had a changing character. Dow Jones took out all of this, and we didn't take it out on Nasdaq or ES. So these are actually longs here. Right here, you could be long right there. Literally right into 8:30. At least up into there. I think. I'm missing something. Or sorry, maybe this is AYM long. So probably could have gotten into. This is a fair value gobble setup right here. Yeah, you would already been able to exit if you traded the fair value gobble. So the fair value gobble is using this order block. And we target at least 50% of the range. And I got it right there. So yeah. I think you could have targeted all the way back up to here. I would wait for one of these guys to come back up and super highs. But I probably would have targeted now. So yeah, there you go. Big R trade on YM. Yeah, the bias for this day should have been very bullish. Not necessarily on Russell, but because we did get that Y and S&P, we came down here, started to bounce, and then we had that changing character below that low. So yeah, this makes sense that we still came and held that low on Nasdaq. I would expect all these guys to keep going higher, but at the same time, YM to deliver. So yeah, that's the nerdy basis. Yeah. And yeah, this makes sense to hold for this high, at least the runners, because what happened was this is very obvious bullish S&P. It's like clearly get long, and then a fair value gobble on top of that with the CC. This is the trade to hold here. So this is a good note.
We'll just trust it.
That's not bad. All right. No, this is a quick volume trade, so there you go. That's the end of that weekend review.